everyone, it's Heather Fox with Techpawlogy. Welcome to Woof Wednesday, and this is Bella, our little dog model for the day. So what we're going to talk about today is leash reactivity. What happens when you see a dog that's barking and lunging towards you? Or what if you have a dog that likes to bark at other dogs, people, or bikes? So the thing we want to talk about with this is something called boiling point. When you are boiling a pot of water and it gets too hot, how do we cool it off? We move it off the heat. Once the boiling pot of water boils over, we can't put the water back in. The same way that we think about this, we think about our dogs. We don't want them to get to boiling point. Let's think of that as 10. We want to keep them under boiling point. If we're able to move them off the heat before they reach that state, we can cool them down. Once they reach that really highly excited, upset, fearful state, then it's damage control. So number one, just like last week, we work on check-in. Bella, come, good girl. Also, you want to work on knowing your sit. Good girl. It's very important that you have connection and focus when you're working with a reactive dog. You don't want to bring them on a trail or a dog park or anywhere that would stress them out if you don't have that connection and that control. A way that we can use control is something called a face halter. So the face halter works the same way as a horse head halter, where the head goes, the rest goes. Oh, thank you. This is not dangerous for dogs. It doesn't hurt them. They don't love it, but they learn to adjust to it, that it's a positive thing. The second thing you can use, like from last week, is a Martingale collar. Now this is completely dependent on how much control and trust you have with your dog. Bella, good girl. Sit. A Martingale collar is not meant to choke or pull your dog. You should never use it that way. As you see, if I pull up twice, good girl. She's conditioned to learn that the tug motion means sit. So when you're out for a walk, come. Good girl. Good girl. As you can see, no pulling, no fuss, just wonderful control and wonderful focus. The last thing we're going to talk about today is understanding and responsibility. So when we have a leash reactive dog, you have to understand the dog. They're fearful, they're acting at a very excited state, so we have to keep them under that state. Don't put them in situations that they're going to get to boiling point. They can't learn when they're at that state, so let's keep them under threshold. The second thing we want to think about is these dogs aren't bad dogs, so we don't want to get overly interactive with them when they are fearful. So what we can do to protect them from that is when a very scary stimulus comes up, such as this giant golf cart over here, you bring them away from the threat. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Very good. You did so well. So if you have an aggressive dog or you have a leash reactive dog, be responsible, work hard with them, and if you see them, give them a little leeway and maybe a little space on the sidewalk. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Our winner from last week is Helen Gossett. We will tag you below. Congratulations, you've won a complimentary virtual or in-person session with your pupper. So tune in next week for our next winner and more tips with a special guest of Winston Fluffybutt as we take an inside look of his day-to-day in Winter Garden. Thanks everybody. Heather Fox with Techpawlogy. Please go on to techpawlogy.com and subscribe to the Positive Pet community.